I decided to investigate the secret world of bot farms that we have all seen around on Twitter and even in our deathmatch lobbies and casual games. I managed to infiltrate and expose a secret community full of these bot farmers and even try their software and even get an interview. Now this was all amazing, but what wasn't was the impact these farms were actually having on our skins market, and the fact that every time Valve releases new skins, a new player record gets broken. Why? Well, 50% of the total player count is made up of bots. Welcome to the bot farm investigation. This whole idea began when I hopped into a deathmatch to quickly warm up, and I noticed that a few players were playing like bots. They would run around the map and then randomly lock onto your head. So I started searching on the internet, and it turns out this wasn't anything new. Other people were experiencing the same thing, and there was even footage of bots in casual matches that would farm XP. Now this was also a thing back in CSGO with the famous vertigo boost, but before it wasn't as prominent. Now things are different because of weekly drops. Due to the booming cases and skin prices, the items that you can get from the weekly drop pool are now worth anywhere between 20p and £500, especially with the new skins that were just released. And around 10 months ago, Game Follower did tweet some footage of these farms, and honestly it looks pretty insane. But when you try and search on YouTube for more information, nothing really comes up except for this one interview posted by Cybershock. In this interview we get a rough idea of how the business is all structured. You have a software that costs around $15 a month per PC. These guys claim to be making about $225,000 a month by selling their software, which means they have about 15,000 clients. Now do not get this confused. This isn't accounts, this is just 15,000 computers that are using this software. If you have about 10 accounts per computer, well now you have 150,000 bots running at the same time. They did also talk about how much money these people were making from the farms, which I'm not going to include because this was 10 months ago when the prices were different and the services were much easier to find. Let's fast forward now 10 months to the present, where after watching all of this, I decided to find the services and give them a try. So I searched up on Google and I found nothing. I even tried on the second and the third page and I still found nothing. So I decided to turn to the community and I made a couple of posts on Reddit. To my surprise, the post had got a lot of traction and a lot of people were ready to help. So I want to say thank you to everyone on Reddit. The first thing I did was check the replies, and people gave a lot of advice like to try and search on Chinese web browsers, which I had never heard of, and to try more Eastern languages as this isn't really marketed in Europe. This was when I received a message request on Reddit from cgallen 1994. Hi, I saw your post about investigating the bot farm on CS2. I'm from Taiwan, I play on Asian servers. I noticed that a lot of bots are named in Chinese, so I searched for 10 minutes in my native language. Here's what I found. So I clicked on the links that he provided, and for about half an hour I was trying to figure out what the fuck was going on because everything was in Chinese. And after spending a shitload of time on Google Translator, I was able to find a video that talked about MF Panel. Now I did really want to try MF Panel, but there was no way I was going to download some Chinese software on my PC. Which is when I got another DM about a service that was called T-Store. Straight off the bat, this looked clean. They had a YouTube, a Discord and even a Telegram, but for some reason they had stopped selling their service. So I sent them a message on Telegram to find out more, and they said that they're not selling any of their AFX subscriptions, so I tried to ask for an interview, and they kindly denied. They explained that too much hype is a problem for them because Valve is trying different methods to stop them. Later it turned out that this exact same service was the one that was interviewed in the previous section of this video. So I continued searching for more of these panels and bot services, this time using Russian. And I found this guy called Farmer, who on his YouTube channel goes into incredible detail on how to make everything work. They have a panel loaded with 10 accounts that are all trying to get into a 5v5 or a 2v2 match on South African servers. They had a software that automatically logs your accounts, a software for server connections, and a panel that holds everything on your screen. I ended up just pausing the investigation for a couple of days so I can process all the information, but I couldn't because I ended up getting another message on Telegram from T-Store. Hi, we have opened up AFX sales, would you like to purchase a subscription? So of course I asked how much the subscription was, and does this include the deathmatch service I've been seeing everywhere on Twitter? They responded with the initial cost is $160 and $70 a month after that, and this does include the deathmatch service. But of course there was no way I was going to go and spend $160 to, yep, no, I bought it, and we're about to find out how it all works together. With Skins Monkey, you can trade your skins quick and easy for better prices than the Steam market. You also get up to $5 for free by using code MEDIA and a 35% bonus for any cash deposits. Ka-ching! It's super simple to use. Pick the skins you don't want, pick the skins you do want, and trade. And if you're poor like me, you can enter the daily, weekly and monthly giveaways to potentially win yourself some skins. And guys, if you have any problems, just ask the 24/7 support team for some help and they'll definitely give you some.
Are you serious right now, bro?
Thank you Skins Monkey for sponsoring this video. After purchasing the subscription, the manager on the Telegram sent me a blog post with a guide to install the software and a set of rules. One of the rules, all users are prohibited from sharing messages from the group chat as well as any information and videos of the new software on any social media platform. If a violation is detected, we will remove the AFX license and the user slot. Of course, I was definitely going to follow this rule. It turns out that this service is only available to 300 people and that already 200 people had signed up. So $160 multiplied by 300 people means that these guys will be making around $48,000 from this subscription. He also said in our Telegram text that it takes 20 to 30 accounts to pay for the subscription, which is a fact I want you to remember for later on. In terms of installing the software, the blog post was extremely long but simple, and there was no way I was going to install everything on my main PC. But luckily I had a very old PC lying around that I could use, which you can see on your screen right now. So I began following the steps, and although everything was extremely simple, it still took me like 3 days to get everything to work. The team was also very helpful, and they had to take remote access in some situations to fix any issues. Here's footage of the system finally working after 3 days and my reaction. And now there we go, it's working. In short, the software works like this. You create a virtual machine, so basically another computer inside of your computer that runs Counter-Strike. You also have a Steam Authenticator app, which is basically the same as your mobile authenticator. From the panel, you can also change any of your account data automatically to, I guess, avoid being banned. In terms of the actual deathmatch feature, all you have to do once you have loaded the virtual machine is just choose which mode you want to use. In this case, let's use the low mode. From there, the system does absolutely everything. It logs you into Steam and it even gets the 2FA code, then it opens up CS, queues a deathmatch and it starts auto farming. On your screen is the difference between each mode. You can see that the high one is more accurate and gets more kills, compared to the low one which isn't as good but still does the job. And then you have the medium mode, which is I guess somewhere in the middle. Now I wasn't going to waste any time and try to load 10 accounts and start a whole farm, because this wasn't my intention or the point of the video. You as well as me want to know the important stuff, like is this business worth it and how much are these guys really making? So I sent some private DMs through the Telegram group and I got a couple of responses, and luckily I was able to convince one of the more experienced farmers to hop in an interview. Yo man, how's it going?
I'm good man, what's up?
Alright man, I'm doing well as well. I'm not going to waste any of your time, so I'm just going to get straight into the juicy questions. How long have you been in the bot farming industry and how many accounts are you currently managing?
I've been bot farming for a year, on and off now, and I have 2 PCs with around 300 accounts.
Nice. So you're making a bit of money, yeah? True.
yeah.
In terms of the PCs, how much did each PC cost for you? And did you build them yourself or did you buy them? How does it all work?
So I bought my first PC, and the second one I actually bought from AliExpress for around $500.
From AliExpress?
Yeah.
Did it explode or something, no?
No, actually it's pretty good. I was skeptical in the beginning, but it actually holds up quite well.
And you said that you're managing about 300 accounts. Obviously, they all have to have Prime, otherwise you can't get the weekly drop. So where did you buy all the accounts from? Do you buy them in bulk? Do you get them in discount?
So before I used to buy the accounts from G2A because they're cheap ones on there. But sometimes the account wouldn't work, so now I just buy accounts from the T-Zone store. I actually recently bought 120 accounts for $1,600.
$1,600. I mean, that's like a Ford Fiesta in the UK.
Yeah.
So obviously everyone wants to know how much are these bot farms making? Is it worth it? So my question to you is, how much money are you making from all of these accounts?
Well, you can make $300 at least with 500 accounts, but this changes all the time, you know. When the new update just happened, I made $1,200 in the first 2 weeks, which was pretty good.
Because sometimes the accounts get banned as well, do you do anything special? Do you like transfer all the cases onto one account and then bulk sell them to someone or sell them on the Steam market? How does it all function? What do you do exactly?
Yeah, so I transferred all the items onto one main account and then transferred them again onto another account just to be safe. And we have groups where you can sell them in bulk for CSGO and pack coins or for cash. Usually, when I get around 3,000 cases, I'll make a post.
Sounds good. Right, man. Thanks for hopping in the call. I appreciate your time. It's time to now talk about the impact this is having on the skins market and on us as players. And the explanation is very simple. Supply and demand. When the farmers are getting so much supply of the cases, they become more available on the market, so the prices drop, and consequently the prices of the items within those cases also drops. So what does this mean? Well, your skins and your cases are probably worth much more than what they are right now. But do Valve really want to get rid of this whole service? On Twitter, there has been a bunch of banning going on from Valve, which is great. And from the messages on the Telegram channel, it looks like Valve is actually trying to do something about this service. But then again, this does make Valve a shitload of money. Cheaper cases means more keys get bought, which means more profit for Valve. As well as this, the owner did also admit that Valve just makes it harder for them to farm, but doesn't entirely remove the ability to do so. We need to also take a look at the all-time high player records. The case farming business is only a seasonal thing. When new cases or skins get released, that's when the farms are most active. If we look at every player record that has been broken in the past few months, it has all happened within a few days after the release of a new skin or a case. It really is safe to say that anywhere from 30 to 50% of the player count is fake, at least within those time periods. Even in the software that I bought, you have the ability to expand the slots so you can have even more accounts running at the same time. And judging from the past interview of these people and the other panel solutions available on the market that I found, it's safe to say that this is a major problem and that all the figures add up. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and also drop a comment with what you think about this topic.